right next to the fuse box. It's not wired yet. That one's going to the battery and that one's going to the fuse box. So I've only got to make a short lead for that one, which I've started. I think I got a shorter one than that in the house, and that one is going over to the battery. So I'm going to put the on that shelf there, the Dabson on that shelf there. I've got to make brackets and everything to be able to hold it up there. I've run this wire right the way through to the van to the front, so when the time comes and that's right, I can hardly move. It's the cold, arthritis, rheumatism. Yeah, so anyway, that's in there now. I showed you it is working anyway, and I'm going to put one of the fixed sockets here, right, as though I can unplug that with the wire over this side, say going all the way over there with two wires. Right, I got the solar all the way over the back here. I've got to run a cable through with that on right the way through. It'll jump into that route and come to here, as though I can put a socket in there, as though I can unplug that and plug the solar into it instead, and then that saves running two cables over to where the power bank's going, if that makes sense. This is the third take. It didn't make sense to me the first time. Alright, my conservatory is a mess again. It's always a bloody mess. Right, cut that out ready, big board, cut the two sides out ready to put the drawer runners on, to make a drawer to put that into, as though it slides out of the cupboard, because of course a chest freezer needs the lid to open fully to be able to get in there properly. Otherwise the lid won't stay up, so you've got to have two hands, one to hold the lid, one to get the stuff out. Who's going to hold the stuff whilst you try and rub it? Yeah, get the drift. Right, so I'm going to make this drawer to go into the cupboard under my wardrobe. That's where the power for it is, which I did a long time ago. So I'm not going to show you how to make a drawer. I think you're all pretty up on how to make a drawer, so I'm just going to do it and fit it, as in then show you, and a few of the other mods that I've done in the van, because I am really itching to get out. Alright, I'm out there in the van now, and I've already taken the cupboard door off there, which I made like that one, but I never did carpet this one out. It doesn't need carpeting, because this is where originally my fridge went, so hence the reason why there's all the extractor fans and that in the back, and the hole through the floor for the 240 cable. It was only a 240 volt fridge. So as I said, that's the power supply there for it. That's the switch there to turn it on and off. So I haven't fetched the fridge out with me, so I fetched it out. I've also got out of the shed one of the drawers which matches those in that unit, and I was hoping to get an extra drawer underneath it. I know I'm gonna have to make it up. It fits into the orifice there okay, it's just that I gotta make the sides fit, and I thought it's just another handy orifice. It's not knowing. What did I say it was? 49 high, 490 high. Yeah, I got 480. Oh, good old stairs. They're falling apart now though, and I'm loath to get rid of them. Over 30 years I made that. Over 30 years ago. and it stood the test of time. It's had a few extra screws here and there. It's been carpeted that many times. Yeah, I made that absolutely perfect. I want the gaps down the sides, you know, just for ventilation. So is all I got to do now is just put some spacer blocks underneath that to bring it up enough. I do know that I'm going to end up, because those fridges, I'll bring the fridge out in a minute, the plug goes in from this end, because when it pulls out I want to be able to lift the lid up that way, and so the plug will be on the front side. So I have got an angled cranked one. Can't remember if it comes this way or that way, so I'll be able to put that on anyway. So right, I'll go and get the fridge. Alright, yes, it does fit on there, and if it wasn't for the lead I could have left the door on. Oh, what a bugger. If it wasn't for the lead I could have left the door on the front and it would have been shut away. But I can't slide it out at the moment because, as I said, I wanted to see how much room I'd got here to allow for this drawer, because it's just sat on that drawer at the moment, because I'd like to incorporate that extra drawer. So I've got 60mm there. Yeah, I got 60mm above it. Right. I had forgotten how hard it was to line those rails up, but anyway, it now slides right out to the edge of the cupboard and back in again, nice and smooth. Yeah, I just gotta put one of those here now to stop it coming out when I'm driving. I've got loads of those. Get all the pull there. Right, let's come down a bit more, and then I have got the fridge here to go in, which it'll go back to there because there's loads of ventilation down that side. I've got a cleat to put on the back to stop it going over the back. I'm going to just temporarily unplug that, put it inside for now. This will just get used as an everyday fridge. As I say, I've got the freezer which will go in the garage. Right. Look at that, eh? The power of a dispatcher. This thing is as old as the hills. I think I've added in about 5 or 6 vans. I've added in 2 of my lorries. It's tatty, it's broken, it's taped up. I'll just put that in there to help keep the heater cool and keep the heat in the pipes. Ventilator there, ventilator under there, and one in the garage. And I found at the moment to leave the lid open slightly to let any hot air. I'm going to put a USB fan, a computer fan there. Or it's coming down now. I've only just turned it on, as though it can exhaust that air off the top of it. I might take that insulation out of there and duct it up the van into this seat box, because it'll fill that up lovely. I'll put my clothes in there. So yep, that is good. As I said, that is done, but this is what, 4 days that I've just done now. I filmed that as I've done it, but 4 days earlier I put the freezer in the garage, and I put it on, arc of that, you can't hear it, put the freezer on a drawer runner that goes into the garage. Door shuts perfectly okay. An advantage over this one, he's Bluetooth, so I don't need to get into the garage. It'll alarm me if the temperature starts to rise too much. But I said I can only use this if I've got loads of solar for quite some time, because you know yourself, you get rid of the pixies out of the battery, and it takes such a long time to recharge. I'm well chuffed with that. I'll show you a quick clip that I sent to Will with me stood on it as I'm sliding it in and out. It will take my weight, that runner will. I originally got those draw runners because I was going to put the solar panels on the roof and then put my old 100s underneath the panels, as though when I parked up I could slide the old 100s out, but I've just never got round to doing that. So that's there now, that's working perfect. Yeah, impressed over that. Now I'll go into the boot and I'll show you from the rear end. So when the door's open, it slides right in. I did it on a tray like that. I could have just put the L brackets on the floor, and then it would have slid in and out on that, right? But it's cooked on the door now. The door ain't open far enough. There you go. And I thought, well, no, because now I can still unscrew it. It's held down with 6 screws, screwed down to the thing with 6 screws into the floorboards. They're not too long that they go into the metal, so there's not another puncture. I can still get the power in there, no problem. That's all hunky-dory there, because that one runs off that cigarette lighter there, and look, 280 amps of lithium battery, and there's my little gizmo that runs across. It's alright, I ain't got enough room to move around here with a little fat shit like me. Right, that one there, that plug there is the solar, and that plug there goes across because my Dabson is going to park on that shelf there. There's the 2 cables coming down there. One is the charging, and the other one is to be able to plug into the Anderson socket, and it runs across and it plugs. There's the Anderson up there. It plugs into the fuse box and will run the van. But hence to say, it's not plugged in. I won't plug it in unless I do need it desperately. But that was a bloody game changer. I know they're expensive, right? But 280 amp hours. Each one of my AGMs were 100 amp hours. So, you know, it's replaced 3 batteries. Well, those 3 batteries, the weight of them, and of course, you can only use 50%. So that's only, out of 3 AGMs, that's only 150 amp hours. So that's, you know, it'll take the place of 4, maybe 5 AGMs just in one small battery like that. And I don't know, if the time comes, another one might go in that little orifice there. I don't know. I will. Yeah, being a pensioner, I don't know whether I can afford another one. Oh, I doubt. I doubt very much. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that. I am really, really chuffed with that. I'll show, as I said, I've showed you the clip of me stood on it and still sliding it in and out. They are real strong carriers. I can't remember what weight they will carry. Yeah, that socket there is for it, for the fridge. It runs off its own dedicated fuse up there. As I say, that turns, it's got a relay in that on it, right? And it takes the 12 volt supply off the front of the ignition to turn that relay on. So once the engine started, that relay will turn on and it'll start charging, because the lithium charges up off the alternator as well. So it just ups it, and that takes it up to 24 volts. This is still charged by 12 volts, well 14.6, because that's what my alternator puts out. and of course this being an all electric van with all the optional extras on the electric side, like heated seats, heated windscreens, mirrors, everything's electric. It has the bigger alternator anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's all the mods I'm doing now for a while, because it's bloody half killed me. So I'm well chuffed with that arc, how smooth that is. You can't really tell how smooth that is. So right, that's it. I love you.
Ta-da!